Hi everyone! In this video we're going to talk about how to play It's Raining, which is the fourth song in Recorder Karate 1. We've got a bunch of new things in this video, in this song. So again, it's really important to look down here to the bottom of the page right there, and it will tell you everything that you need to know. The first thing is that we have a new note, and so that new note is E, and E is right on the bottom line there, okay? The very bottom line of the staff. To play E, you're going to cover the hole with your left hand as we have for every, with your left thumb as we have for every note we've learned so far. So you're covering on the back, and then you're going to do like a G with your left hand, all three fingers down. We don't use our left pinky ever, just kind of hangs out, and then 2 fingers on your right hand. So I've got down 1, 2, 3 on my left and 1, 2 on my right. Remember that you always need to have your left hand on the top of the recorder. And you're going to find as you go along that the things you do on the bottom of the recorder with your right hand are actually harder. So I'm pretty sure how that ended up happening that way because I know most of you are right-handed. So if you're having trouble remembering, put a scrunchie or something on your wrist. Those seem to be pretty popular these days, so I imagine you have one around the house, or maybe your sister does, or you can wear a watch there, just something to remind you that your left hand needs to go on the top. So one of the biggest things that I see in class that people struggle with is that they want to start with the right hand on top. So to play the E, got these fingers down, and this is what it sounds like. It's important that the lower you go, so the lower in pitch that we're going, the less air you want to use. Because if you use extra air, it's going to squeak up. And that would sound like this. And that's me using too much air. So if you're squeaking, probably less air is the problem. And again, make sure your fingers are covering all of those holes. So in addition to that, we have a new rhythm in this song. And these are eighth notes. So we use a lot of fractions in music. Whole note that we haven't learned about in this book yet, but that gets 4, and so the half note gets half of that, which is 2, and that's why we call it a half note. Quarter note gets 1, because if you take 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, you would get 4. So if you split 4 into quarters, each piece is worth 1. So eighth notes are going down 1 more, and each one is worth half a beat. Right now, we just have them in pairs together. That's not always going to be the way. Sometimes you'll see them by themselves, but we'll get there later. So to clap those eighth notes, if you're thinking you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, those are my quarter notes. Eighth notes, we're going to use ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So they're going to go kind of, you've got 1 on the beat and then 1 in between. So they're a little bit faster. To play It's Raining, the pitches you need are going to be E, G, and A. And that's it. So again, 3 notes, but instead of using that B, we are now using an A. Sorry, an E. We've always used A. So looking at this here, again, first make sure that you can say and identify all of those notes. And I actually think in this song that's a little bit easier because E is a little bit away from the next note. When you have G, A, and B, they're all in a row. But E is kind of way down there, and you skip over F, which we haven't learned yet. If you're not sure on the rhythm of this piece, I would suggest that maybe you find an adult to help you with that, because I'm not sure that all of you know this song, but I'm pretty sure your parents would, so that might be helpful. But I'm also going to speak through on the words and clap it for you so that you can hear how that goes, okay? So here we go. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Went to bed and he bumped his head and he couldn't get up in the morning. So something like that. One other new thing that they don't mention at the bottom of the page is we have this right here. So we've got 1 note and then we have a bar line, which again splits the measures apart. The problem is we're supposed to have 4 beats per measure. So this is called an incomplete measure. And what you'll see down at the bottom is that the last measure only has 3 beats. So this and this together make up one full measure. When we start with a beat like this, we call this a pickup note. And the fancy word for that is anacrusis, meaning that it comes before the beat. So we've got one of those there. Right there, we start on beat 4 and then we're right into the song. As I've done for the last couple, I'm going to play this with you but not let you see my recorder, so that you have to do a little bit of this on your own. So here we go, It's Raining. This one might take just a little bit more coordination with those faster notes, with those eighth notes. And so this is a good time to talk about, what if you're having trouble when you go to pick up your recorder and start playing the piece. In the first 3 songs, it's very likely that if you followed those steps first, identifying notes and then speaking them in rhythm, then doing the fingers, and then playing, that you were doing the right thing the first time through. But that might not be the case with this song. If that occurs, there are 2 ways to fix that. So if you're just struggling with a small part of the song, you want to isolate that, pull it out, and just work on that little bit. Let's say you're having trouble with the bumped his head and he couldn't get up. If you're having trouble with that, just play that little bit. Don't play through the whole song, just play the little piece. See if you can get it again. And it's really important to slow down. If you keep playing the same speed, you're going to keep making the same mistakes. So we want to make sure that you're slowing down and then gradually speeding up. A really great tool for this is a metronome. And a metronome basically keeps time for you. There's lots of free apps for metronomes, and you start a little slower and then you just speed up very slowly and you'll get it. You kind of trick your brain into going faster. So there's that. If you are struggling with the whole piece, then you need to slow the whole thing down and then build the speed from there. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. Good luck on It's Raining, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.